Miho Nishizumi was engrossed in her book, enjoying the quiet of her room. However, the serenity was short-lived when a loud crash came from the kitchen, disrupting her peace. She put her book down, deciding to investigate. As Miho left her room, she saw her roommate Kevin Stewart furiously tossing food onto the kitchen floor. He was cursing loudly about his corned beef, creating a ruckus. Meanwhile, Momo Kawashima was nonchalantly watching TV, seemingly indifferent to Kevin's tantrum. Miho tried to calm Kevin down, telling him that she had seen Momo feeding his corned beef to some stray cats. At first, Kevin refused to believe her until he dumped the trash can on the floor, revealing the empty corned beef tin. Upon seeing the evidence, Kevin's anger escalated. He began to curse at Momo, demanding that she get rid of the cats she had been feeding. His words fell on deaf ears as Momo continued to watch her show. Kevin's rage caused him to be careless. He nearly tripped on the food he'd thrown earlier and, in his frustration, kicked at it, stubbing his toe in the process. The kitchen was slowly turning into a disaster zone. Miho, in an attempt to pacify Kevin, offered to buy him more corned beef from Walmart. However, Kevin revealed that he was banned from the store for throwing a Big Mac at an employee during a previous incident. To make matters worse, Miho discovered that the mac and cheese she had planned to cook later was now all over the floor. Kevin's tantrum was now affecting her plans too. The situation in the kitchen was going from bad to worse. Amidst his ranting, Kevin made a controversial joke about taking the cats to a Chinese restaurant. This earned him a disapproving glare from both Miho and Momo. Despite his anger, he started cleaning up the mess he had made. As he was cleaning, Miho decided to lighten the mood. She tossed an empty pop bottle into the trash. However, her aim was off, and it hit Kevin instead. In response, he tossed it back, not really angry, but rather amused. The tension in the kitchen gradually subsided as they all started cleaning up. Despite the chaos earlier, they found themselves laughing at the ridiculousness of the situation. The kitchen was slowly returning to its usual state. After the clean-up, Kevin, Miho, and Momo sat down to enjoy the evening together. They watched TV and chatted, putting the earlier incident behind them. The peaceful atmosphere returned to their shared living space. Miho learned that day that living with roommates had its ups and downs. While it could be chaotic at times, it also brought about moments of laughter and bonding. She decided to cherish these moments, no matter how crazy they could be. Kevin, although hot-headed, was not a bad person. He had his quirks and flaws, but also had a good heart. He apologized to Miho and Momo for his actions and promised to control his temper in the future. Momo, on the other hand, seemed to enjoy the chaos, always taking things lightly. She promised to stop feeding stray cats with Kevin's food. However, she couldn't promise not to bring any more strays home. That night, they all went to bed, tired but content. The kitchen chaos had turned into a funny memory, something they would laugh about in the future. This was just another day in their shared home. The next day, Kevin woke up to find a note from Miho on the fridge. It read, "Next time you lose your temper, remember this day and laugh instead." He smiled, realizing he was lucky to have such understanding roommates. Momo found a similar note in her room from Miho. It read, "Remember, not everyone loves cats as much as you do." She chuckled, appreciating Miho's sense of humor and understanding. As for Miho, she was back in her room, once again engrossed in her book. The house was peaceful, just the way she liked it, but she knew that with Kevin and Momo around, a new adventure was just around the corner. Life with roommates was never dull, and Miho wouldn't have it any other way. She loved the thrill and unpredictability that came with it, even if it meant cleaning up the kitchen floor more often than she'd like to. Kevin and Momo were more than just roommates to Miho. They were her friends, her family. They had their differences, but they were always there for each other. And that's what made their shared home special. Every day was a new adventure, a new story to tell. Despite the chaos, they always found a way to laugh and make the most of it. After all, life was all about making memories, and they were doing just that. Miho, Kevin, and Momo knew that their time together was precious. They promised to cherish these moments and make more memories. After all, these were the days they would look back on and smile. The kitchen chaos was just another day in their shared home. It was a reminder that life was unpredictable, but that's what made it exciting. They looked forward to more such adventures, more such chaos, and more such memories. That night, as they went to bed, they knew that they had another day to look forward to. A day full of possibilities, a day full of laughter, a day full of memories, and they couldn't wait for it. As Miho closed her book and turned off the light, She couldn't help but smile. She was grateful for her roommates, for their shared home, for their shared memories. She was ready for the adventures that awaited them tomorrow.